Welcome back, people. Lateness is greatness. You already know what time it is. It's time for the Chelsea versus Morecambe review. And listen up. Big up to the chat, first of all. I can see you, man, waiting in here. Listen, we're going to have Dami on later, but it's time for some alone time. Do you know what I mean? It's time for some alone time. Just me and you to talk about what we just went through there. You know, I need to really get involved and push this Kai and Hudson Odoi prop. And a lot of people say, oh, it's reactionary. You're only doing it because you beat Morecambe. Kai Havertz has only turned up against, he's only turned up against Barnsley and Morecambe. It's not the situation. It's not the situation, okay? I've been screaming for not only Hudson Odoi to play more games, but Kai Havertz to be in the box when we cross the ball. So no surprise, like I said, no surprise, lads, that Havertz, who's been in the box at Leipzig, in the box at Leverkusen, we put him in the box when we cross and there's a threat there. No surprise. No surprise that Hudson Odoi, who's playing well at the moment, deserves to play games and continues to get an assist, get a goal, create chances, play very well, and should just be, should just always continue to, for me, like I keep saying, players that are in form should be playing. But I wanna go through the team, first of all, the team selection, because that was wild. I can't lie. That was nuts. It was wild to see that. I'm gonna Eden Hazard, I know what you're on about with the no sound business, but I'm just gonna time you out for a second because you're pissing me off. Look, let's go through the goals. Yeah, let's go through the goals. Yeah, we don't stand for no nonsense on here, people. Do you know what I'm saying? Don't try and mess up my flow. I'm here to spit. All right, I'm here to spit about my two players today, and then we go from there. I have to start off with the team selection. The team selection was so serious. It was so serious from Frank Lampard. Like, you could tell that he weren't messing about. And you can tell it's a man that is on the brink of trying to save his job. You can tell that this man is nervous. Do you know what I mean? He's nervous. That team that he sent out is not even just the starting 11 for me. It's the fact that the bench, right? The bench was just flooded with seniors. Like, there was not a hint in youth in sight. Yes, Tino Andrew was there, but we've kind of got accustomed to seeing him. He was on the bench last year against, actually, he started, I think, last year against Grimsby, or came off the bench. So he was already involved from last season. But there was no, all of these players that we spoke about. I know it's a League Two team, I know, but let me talk. Let me talk, bro. I'm not getting overexcited. What, if you've been following the channel, what I've been saying about Havertz and Hudson Odoi, I was saying it from before this game. It's not about who he played. It's just about seeing what we wanted to see implemented. But obviously that needs to be implemented against Fulham. The team that Frank Lampard picked was so strong and so serious. Like I was saying, Tomori, once again, not playing. I mean, people, the time to cry and whinge about that stuff for me is done. Like I said, I made my peace with the situation because there's clearly something going on there. He's 100% going to be on his way out in January. I have no qualms about saying that. I feel like that's nailed on to happen. And like I said, the fact that he can't make the starting 11, when really you could make a case that Zuma could be rested. Mason Mount, again, you could have made a case that he's rested. But these players can still continue to play. Just goes to show how, one, Tomori's not in the fold. And two, I've already done my bitching and moaning about Tomori. So there's no point me doing it again. But it also just goes to show just how much of in a serious situation we are in. Serious situation, right? Where Lampard ain't playing no games. Now, I'm not going to lie. The performance was okay. It was good. I mean, like I said, like the comment says here, it's a League Two team. So I'm not going to be getting all over the top about this. We was playing a team that was 7th in League Two, and we was doing still a lot of crossing. The only difference with the crossing is that at last, like I said, we managed to get Kai Havertz in the box. I have been screaming out for this. If you're going to play the most crosses in the Premier League this season, have players in the box that can attack the ball with their head. That is Giroud, who didn't play today, and I was happy that Werner played and Werner scored, and we'll get to his goal in a minute, and Kai Havertz. Why is Kai Havertz average position, as you saw in the Athletic? So me, son of Chelsea, we've had loads of people on this channel this week, last week, talking to you about Kai Havertz playing too deep. It's not about, for me, him in the 8, because a lot of people will say he just needs to play the 10. By the way, if he plays the 10, it's just probably easier for him to be more advanced now because he's not going to be starting off deeper. But Frank Lampard as a player played the 8 and still managed to get himself into the box. So I have no problem with him playing the 8. But as I kept saying all week, why is he deeper than Mason Mount? In the Athletic report, why is he playing basically DM as an average position? Why? And again, today, at least now, we saw him higher up the pitch, and no shit, he's higher up the pitch, he gets goals, he gets assists, he sets up, he gets involved. I'm not saying that, you know, if we had put Kai Havertz in the box from the beginning of the season and everything would have been rosy. No, we would have still had our trials and tribulations. There still would have been issues. We still would have had drop off in form, but we could get more out of the player playing him in a role and in zones that suit him. And he is there to score goals. He is there to get assists. If you saw him at Leverkusen, he was higher up the pitch. That is what he is made to do. Now, a lot of people after full time were saying that when Hudson Odoi moved to the right, Kai Havertz looked a bit better. I do agree. I do think I want to give it time, though, to see if this is a fundamental issue in the system where Ziyech plays right wing, Kai Havertz played right channel. If you see, again, his average position at Leverkusen, he is a right channel type player, but he will get into the box. So those are the areas he operates in. And that is the same half channel that you saw for the Ziyech assist for Hudson Odoi. He operates in the same space. So I think over time, I'm not mad worried about Ziyech and Kai Havertz at the moment in the same area. I think, you know, if you just continue to work on it in training, say when Ziyech drops deeper, Kai Havertz should be in the box, and you give each other the space to maneuver, then I don't think it's going to be an issue long term. But it is something that, yes, when Hudson Odoi plays on the right, he offers more width. And he's right-footed, so he's not going to take up the same zones as Havertz, and it's probably a bit easier for Kai to have an influence on the game. But long-term, I think it's something they can sort out. But people, let me go through some of the comments. Against sensible opponents, Kai Havertz won't be near the box in the Prem. He's going to be crowded out off the ball. I don't agree with that. One of his strengths is he's a player that can find space in between the lines. This is one of his strengths. So I don't agree with that. Like I said, I just think, it's still adapting and acclimatizing, but at the same time, yes, when we cross against low blocks and we're missing chances, and we can go through the Tottenham game, we can go through so many games where we're whipping in the ball with Reece James, but there's not enough people in the box, or we don't have the right people in the box to make the right connection. Giroud should be in the box, and Kai Havertz should be in the box. Those two players, if you're going to be playing this heavy crossing game, those two players should be in the box. And usually when you look at Liverpool of previous years where they used to cross heavily, they had 3-4 people in the box sometimes. And then, the opposite winger would arrive, the forwards would arrive. That, all three of their forwards would really arrive, and it's the fullbacks that were crossing. So if you get numbers in there, it's something that can work, but you need to have the right bodies in there. And like I said, Giroud and Kai Havertz are probably the best headers of the ball in the team. So if you're gonna play that game, then Havertz needs to be in the box, not Mason Mount, not Havertz dropping deep and all this crap. Havertz needs to be in the box, and that's something I've been screaming for weeks. And I feel like against Fulham, you can start Kai and put him in the box more often, and hopefully you get the same joy that you got today. Let's go through some more of these comments here. Like I said, it was individual brilliance carries the squad until the end of the season. Let's just hope. I think, today, like I said, I'll go through the stats, right? Today we had 85% possession, so we completely dominated the game. Let's not get it twisted. It wasn't a game where, we were struggling. 25 shots to 3, 8 shots on target to 3. So we was dominating, okay? That's not a problem. I just don't think we played brilliantly. Let's be real. We could have played better. It was still a League 2 team, Morecambe. So, we have it. People have it right. We stay realistic. We stay calm. We don't start, doing a madness and calling man them generational because they managed to beat Morecambe. But I think what people will be happy with today is that the right players had good games. So, Hudson Odoi, isolated, had a very good game. For me, potentially man of the match. He got an assist, he got a goal. For me, he was brilliant. He was creating opportunities, switching play, doing all the things that you expect Hudson Odoi to do. And when he moved over to the right wing, again, he's still good. Do you know what I mean? So no matter what wing Hudson Odoi is playing on right now, for me, he's in form and he should be starting against Fulham. When I say that Hudson Odoi should be starting against Fulham, people are like, whoa, who do we drop? Who cares? I don't give a shit who gets dropped. He just has to play. Like, I feel like this fan base have this fixated, preconceived thing in their mind where they have a certain front three, which is Pulisic, Werner, and Ziyech, and no one touches that. No one comes close to it. Regardless of what form you're in or what's going on, no one should ever touch that. Pulisic can't be dropped. No, just never. Can't happen. Yes, it can. And I love Pulisic. I love them equally. I don't compare the players, and I don't do, Pulisic is better than Hudson Odoi and vice versa. I don't even entertain the Martinelli, Saka, Greenwood rubbish because I don't get involved. I don't care about that kind of stuff. They're all quality young players. But the facts of the matter right now is that Hudson Odoi is on form and Pulisic is not really on form. Hudson Odoi is playing better than Pulisic right now. I know that's wild. I know it's nuts. And like I keep saying, I have more than enough confidence in Pulisic. I think people have been saying he's playing a lot worse than he actually is. I think this is, a player that when he's at his best and when he gets back to his best of our last season after lockdown, getting into the box, scoring goals, he's going to be brilliant. But Hudson Odoi is in better form. And on merit, Hudson Odoi deserves to be starting. And I don't care what player has to get licked down for it to happen. I don't care. I don't run agendas. I really don't. I don't care if it's my favourite. I've got Pulisic's shirt. I don't care. Hudson Odoi deserves to play, and I've been saying it for weeks on weeks on weeks. His end product has improved. His tracking back and work rate, for me, was not that much in question, but it's definitely gone up. His awareness, his chance creation, the way that he's able to switch the ball, the way that he's able to operate on either wing. You put him on the right wing, he's got great crossing ability. You put him on the left wing, his chance creation and his dangerous passing into the box is brilliant. Do not talk about, you want us to win games, but then continue to keep these fundamental biases in your head when it comes to picking a starting 11. When it comes to picking a starting 11, for me, it should be tactically, of course, you have to look at it, but also who deserves to play, who is running through the mud for you right now. And I don't personally care whether he starts on the left or he starts on the right, but he has to start. He has to start. He deserves to start. And on a meritocracy standpoint, this brother has done more than enough work behind the scenes to get his start. People keep making different excuses. Oh, he's not training. He's not doing this. He's not doing that. Brother, he's doing the work. He's now doing the work. It's been reported on multiple times he's doing the work. So just give him his glory, give him what he deserves, and let him play the game that is football. Because against Fulham, we don't need false narratives. We don't need false starting 11s that you've made in your head. We need players who are ready to play and win now, right now. And like I'm saying, Hudson Odoi has been doing this for weeks, and it really all started against Rennes when he scored and then got dropped out of the whole squad. So let's stop with that shit. And let's just start playing players that are playing well, especially when it makes sense. Havertz doesn't play better when he's not with Hudson Odoi. When Havertz is playing at his best, Hudson Odoi is on the pitch. He's on the pitch. It happened against West Brom for their link up. Happened against, lesser opposition, of course, in the cup. But when Hudson Odoi is playing, Havertz looks better. So you're getting a 2-for-1 deal there. Do you know what I mean? That's just the situation. And Pulisic is more than good enough talent-wise to play his way back into the team at some point. But right now, Hudson Odoi deserves to play. So we need to stop trying to find a way to shield him out. And he can only play if this person's injured, or he can only play if Ziyech moves to the 8. I don't care how it happens. He just needs to play. Ken Berry says, what do you think of the 4-4-2 at the end? Look, it was nice to see that he was going to try something different, right? But long term, I still think he's going to stick with the 4-3-3. I wouldn't be surprised that he does it. And I think it can still work. But it is nice to see the 4-4-2. Because like I said, I think I said a couple of weeks ago, but this was more when our wingers were injured, right? Our wingers were injured. We had Pulisic injured. We had Hudson Odoi injured. We had Ziyech injured as well, really. Or one of them were coming back to fitness, but they weren't really ready. Do you know what I mean? We were forcing them in because we didn't have a secondary formation. And at that time, my formation was the diamond because it had no wingers, and I feel like our wingers are still injury prone. I don't think that's unfair to say. And if you put Havertz and Timo Werner up front together, potentially you're gonna cook up something. And we saw that for one of the goals, right? Ziyech gets the ball into the box. Havertz knocks it down, which is very good at winning the aerial duels, and then he knocks it down for Timo Werner, who gets the tap in. And like I kept saying, this is why I was so frustrated against Manchester City. Hear me out, people. You had a situation. We got Dami in the backstage right now, so he's gonna join us. And I just got a message for Alex, so we're gonna be able to run a bit longer today as well. Hear me out. We had a situation, where we were playing against Man City and it was Werner and Pulisic. So every time we crossed the ball into the box, no one could win the initial header. There was no one for Ziyech to really aim for aerially because Pulisic in the air and Werner in the air are not strong. So the ball just kept coming in and back out, coming in, back out, coming in, back out. If we had played Havertz in that game, potentially, and you use him as the person that you knock the ball down, you hold the ball up to, and you play the first ball off, then you can get the others into play. Then you can get your knockdowns for your Pulisics and your Werners. So it's not even a situation where you have to have, 100% Drew has to play if you're going to cross. But now, if you've got Havertz, you have that option. You need someone to aim for. You need to say to Ziyech, you're not just going to swing it in all the time aimlessly. You're going to aim for this brother. And then when we get it off him, then we start playing off each other in the box. That can happen. But like I said, I don't see it as a long-term thing. It was Morecambe. So like I said, it's just something that that then maybe he just decided to try. Dami, brother, come fly with me. Come fly, let's fly away. Huh? You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, do you know what? Yeah, it's not even a thing where I don't care. It's not even a thing about getting excited because it was Morecambe. Yeah, it's the thing about finally basic principles for getting the best out of certain players that have been dead food all season. We finally showed signs of doing. Kai Havertz was in the box, my guy. Can you imagine? Kai Havertz was in the box. Oh my goodness.
Jesus is coming. Jesus is coming. Kai Havertz played in and around the box. You understand? My guy was heading down the ball for Timo's goal. You understand? My guy was in the box for his own goal as well. I'm excited to see something. The thing is, yeah, let me chat. I've been listening to you as well. Do you understand? And I just put out my own review as well. The consistent thing is, yeah, this was Morecambe FC. We know that, okay? I fully know that. And I'm not going to act like things are now back to rosy and we're now on the streak. This was nothing, bro. Honestly, it's just that I don't want to be negative. I still feel like some things that occurred in this match were a bit iffy. Do you know what I mean? I do think there were iffy moments in this match. I think we should have done so. Do you know how many players Morecambe rested for this game? Do you know that? They rested,
brother. I know. Like I said, I am not waxing lyricals because we beat Morecambe. I am happy because we did things today to get the best out of certain individuals that we have not been utilizing correctly this season. And like I said, I put just as much blame on some of those players for not doing the bare basics, for Werner for not having a first touch at times, for Havertz misplacing very basic passes and not putting enough speed on them and not enough whip on them. However, today we finally saw in small glimpses a team that were playing to their strengths. I didn't see Ziyech crossing to Werner and Pulisic. I didn't see Kai Havertz at the halfway line. The athletic report went out. This is funny because, like I said at the start of the stream, we've been saying this for weeks. We've been covering this. Every guest that's been coming on here, we've been speaking about Kai. Why is he deeper than Mason Mount? His average position. Why is he so deep? I don't mind him playing the 8. A lot of people say he just needs to move to the 10. That makes it easier. The reason why I don't mind him playing the 8 is because I saw and watched Frank Lampard, I watched and saw Frank Lampard continuously play the 8 role in his career and still get into the box and score goals. So he should know it can be done. But for some reason, he hasn't had Havertz in the box when we have the final delivery in the final third, the ball coming into the box. Havertz has not been in the box. Why is that? Do you know what? That's the question that you have to ask. And that's the questions I've been asking. And today, you see the cross comes in from Aspilicueta. Havertz gets the goal of the header. You see the cross comes in with Ziyech. Havertz is in the box again to link it up with Werner. That's what I want to see. I don't mind the crossing in Salah. I don't like it, but I can handle it if we're doing it correctly. If we're going to do it properly, then do it. Cool. Do you know what I mean? Liverpool did it for 2 seasons. They won shit. I got no problem with it. I would like to see more interchange. I would like to see more patterns of play. I would like to see more link up. I will hope that comes. But if you're going to do the basic crossing in Salah, at least do it correctly, brother. You know what I'm saying?
You're spot on. You know, the thing is, like, I keep saying to people, today we're still doing the cross and inshallah thing, you understand? You see Emerson with his cornetto hair looking ice cream. That's what my guy's head was looking like today. Taking all them stupid shots left, right, and center. But even if we're going to try and play the cross football that everybody's talking about, once again, we're on the same page. We're fully on the same page because for me, right, they can cross all they want. They can cross as many times. I don't know how many crosses we had because I was on Lee's channel and I was streaming and I said if they gave me £5 for each time we crossed or had a corner in that game, I think I'd have probably bought Chelsea. You understand? That's how many crosses these man put into the box every single game. But like you said, this season stuff was being played a bit better in this game, especially. Once again, I know it's Morecambe. Honest to God, they're a League 2 side that is 7th. They're like a bang average side in League 2. Nothing to write home about. They have the rested 5 players. Like I said, when I saw that lineup that Lampard put out, number one, I knew he wanted to try and boost his players' confidence. And I knew he knew his job. It's evident that he knows his job is on the line right now. It's so clear that the man is worried for what's going on at the moment. Because when I saw that lineup, I was going to call the police, bro. That was going to be, I knew it was going to be a violation.
Do you know what? Yeah, it was so serious. It was such a serious lineup. Like, it was a lineup of a man who's like, he knows he needs to smack up Morecambe today. Do you know what I mean? You know, usually when you come up against Morecambe, it's like, yo, we'll put some kids out and we'll play. You know, do you know what's funny? Yeah, I'm glad I didn't stick none of these academy dons in my thumbnail for the preview, because all these brothers, we're talking about spoon and getting that fresh bait. And we're talking about all of these new stars, you know, Livramento and Lawrence and all these man them, and none of them even make the bench. They don't even make the bench. You man was spoon feeding yourselves Cobham Deluxe, and you didn't even get nothing. Do you know what I mean? Keeping up with the Cobhams is cancelled today. Do you know what I mean? Literally nothing. The bench was starving of youth. Like Andrew, and that's it. Apart from that, I just pure seniors. Do you know what I'm saying? But also, I want to give credit, because we haven't spoken about this goal yet. Mason Mount with the long ranger. Again, the shot wasn't perfect. You can see the lower league goalkeeper coming out in that, brother. He didn't even really go for it. Do you know what I mean? Maybe he was blindsided. I don't know. But credit to Mason Mount. He is the only brother taking long shots in this team.
Yeah.
Have you clocked?
Yeah.
And he needs to get more credit for that. Because how many times have we said this team are always trying to, like, yes, you have to break a defense down within a low block. That's cool. But how many times of old did we see Lampard, Ballack, Essien just pop off a long shot, top corner, bottom corner, game over, we move? I keep it. Sometimes it just needs to be that simple. But these brothers don't like taking shots in this team. I don't know what's wrong with them. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know if they got a fear of shooting or something. But these brothers don't want to shoot. You know how many times I keep saying this? Brothers, ladies and little gentlemen, shoot your shot. In life,
but
make it be a life lesson. Shoot your shots, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, the thing is, like, they can shoot their shot, If you deep it, they can't do all of that. But at the end of the day, I think the way we play as well doesn't really give them that chance to shoot. Obviously, Mason Mount came today, and
what do you mean? It don't give him a chance to shoot, brother? All you need to do at times is out your feet and pop it. What do you mean the way we play don't give them a chance to shoot? The brothers either don't know how to shoot, or they're just shit scared. What do you mean? What's that?
That's what I mean.
What you have to play to shoot from long range?
But the thing is, like, Lampard himself, innit? My guy came onto the scene and said, you know what, I want you guys to play like that. I don't want anybody going down here. You know, the middle, that area does not exist. Play like there's a hole there. Where man is playing, the floor is lava with the middle part of the pitch. That's what my guy is currently on. And that's usually the best position to take and pop off all the shots. Like I said, with Mason Mount's goal today, obviously it's Morecambe, fam. There's so much space in and around. And the keeper showed his quality. But I'm going to give credit to him. You need to pop off more of those shots. Even Ziyech today was popping off shots. You understand? Did you see where he megged that done and absolutely took a belter off from his left foot? That was simply sensational. But man, honest to God, you see Mason Mount scoring those kind of goals, and Lampard used to score those as well. So it's a bit shocking and concerning when you don't see his midfielders doing something to that effect. But once again, people are in the background telling us we should not be gassed about the whole thing with the whole victory and everything. I'm not going to act like,
it's not gassed. We're just
starved. We're starving, bro.
If you don't feed someone, listen, if you don't feed, like, shout out to Rashford, isn't it, for feeding the kids and whatnot. Aston Villa played well. If you don't feed your kids, when you eventually give them even a small crumb, even a little crumb, they will lap it up. Do you know what I mean? So, of course, yes, this is only a few breadcrumbs and a few grains of rice. Of course I'm going to eat. Of course. How can I not? Do you want me to starve? Seriously. Do you want the channel to continue? I'm on my last legs. I'm uploading daily, and I ain't got nothing to eat because this team have been diabolical for weeks and nearly a month. And yes, when there are a few crumbs on the table, of course I will eat that. I am asking for more. I want us to do more against Fulham. I would like a feast. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. This is just breadcrumbs and grains of rice. I would like some sort of feast. I would like some sort of full plate of food, some sort of dinner. A knife and fork, perhaps, against Fulham. Do you know what I mean? Something more substantial. However, when you see shit go on in a game, you have to talk about the game. I can't just say to it, right, guys, there's no review today. We're not going to speak about it because it was Morecambe.
Yeah.
Dead the stream. Just come on live. Yeah, it's Morecambe. Sorry, we ain't talking about it. But Matisse, certain things happen that you wanted to see. Well, you're not going to at least... Nah, we ain't talking about it.
Brother, at the end of the day, yeah, I keep saying, we do understand that it's Morecambe FC, you know what I mean? But like Matisse rightfully said, you know when your mom is angry with you and she don't feed you, you know what I mean? That's how Chelsea have been playing recently. There was no money in the bank account, couldn't really get all them goals popped off, losing left, right, and center to all the teams in the league. Of course, I'm going to be like, okay, we finally scored some goals. Do you know what I mean? Wasn't a perfect performance, definitely. I've got some people asking why are the Lampard out haters now. Honestly,
don't say that. Don't say that.
Some people are saying that already.
Because if we lose to Fulham, I'm blaming you. Don't say that. Just to be honest, anybody who is massively Lampard in or just stay humble. Don't say nothing. Do you know what I mean? Just be quiet because this is not the time. Do you know what I mean? Like even Mason Mount, I'm very happy with the long shot. Great shot. Like I said, the deterioration in goalkeeping standards is definitely on show as well. But don't say anything. Don't say come outside and all these things. This is why we have such issue in our fan base, because anytime something goes a little bit right or a little bit wrong, either side just starts like this. Just relax. Turn the volume down some notches.
Operating like a bunch of dogs when they throw a bone in. You understand?
It's not necessary. Do you know what I mean? Because nothing happened today that was that deep to be like, oh, where's your Lampard out banner now? Or nothing that deep happened in certain other games to be like, do you know what I mean? It's not that deep. Just talk about the game. You don't need to. I keep saying, I've said it before. If you followed me on Twitter, you know it. Praise in isolation.
Yeah.
You don't need to do this big parade and carnival of praising where it's like, we're back on top. Premier League ain't ready. I did a few sarcastic tweets during the game. I ain't going to lie. I said Premier League aren't ready for Werner. But if you understand me, you know that's sarcasm. Of course, the Premier League are ready for Werner. They've been ready the whole damn season. But, do you know what I mean?
The way they've locked up, they have been very, very ready. You understand? Oh, my days, fam.
You know when we did the propaganda? Premier League's not ready for Werner and Havertz. They been ready. They were ready.
They've been ready, you know. They've been, you know them ones where you see like your guest is going to say, I'm going to come round there. Like, yeah, you're coming. I say no more, boss. Your chair's right there. You sit down. No goals for you today. You sit out a lock-up shop. Nothing for you to feast on, bro. But rightfully, like you keep on saying, man. Morecambe FC, we take the win, but Fulham, fam. I think this is one of those ones where all of us get gas for 1, 2, 3 hours and we keep it moving swiftly. You understand?
Keep it moving bombastically.
Bombastically and swiftly, fam. We're not going to come out here and start back. Fulham, I'm still scared, bro. You understand? Because some people, yeah, they look at this team, and when I said, a lot of people are like, oh, damn, we finally won. I'm like, all right, okay, that's calm. But even if we beat these man, Morecambe, I don't think it was 100% convincing still. Did you see how we're missing chances regardless? You understand?
Fulham are 18th in the Premier League with no wins in their last 5, 11 points, and we're scared. Huh?
Oh, my
Explain to me how that works.
In it. And you could tell that. But Matisse, I want to chat to you, yeah? And the comments, you might get involved in this as well. Did you clock that these players were not celebrating their goals? What's up with that?
This brother said Fulham will touch us differently. Oh my God! Let us rest. Man said Fulham will touch us differently. You know, these people are not ready for Fulham at all.
Man, these men are violent. But Matisse, do you hear what I said?
Yeah, go on, go for it.
I said the comments and you guys. I noticed after we were scoring our goals, none of our players were celebrating. What was that about, fam?
Do you know what? I think they just understand that it's Morecambe in it, or maybe the international Germans were told before the game by the likes of Mason Mount and Lampard and Jody, and they said to them, "Listen, it's Morecambe, brother. League 2. If you score, don't do an Audi Cup for Tottenham and start shamelessly celebrating and knee sliding and whatnot. It's Morecambe. It's Morecambe. It's Morecambe. This is a training exercise. That's what Lampard used it as. He didn't play any youngsters. He said to you, these donkeys, yeah, that we have. He said to the whole donkey squad, including himself, yeah, everybody's donkey right now, playing like donkey. He said basically they all sat around the table and they said to each other, they said, you know what? We don't have even a divine right to send out youngsters against Morecambe because we've been playing so dead recently. And I, as a manager, let's be real, has been so dead recently that we all need to come with our strongest and we need to use this Morecambe game as a training exercise to get ourselves back together again because we've lost ourselves. The manager lost himself. Players lost themselves. Everybody's lost themselves. Everybody's lost. No one can find. We talk about finding Timo. It's been finding Chelsea. Finding
It's episode 13. Finally found him in it. You understand? Even despite the fact that we found him, my guy was still messing about. Did you see some of the chances he was missing, fam?
Brother, I don't even want to talk about it because today I'm in a positivity team. Do you know what I mean? As that's say. But for real, yeah. This team were finding themselves against Morecambe. That's the situation of the matter. So I'm not surprised there wasn't mad celebrations. This was really, for me, like watching a training game. It was like watching, you go to Cobham and watch an 11-a-side versus another 11. That's basically what this was. Even Morecambe, they had an outbreak of the disease this week, I could have swore. That's why they had to rest like 5 players, I swear. If you saw 60 minutes in, some of them man started dropping like flies. They were like getting all tired and raggy and, do you know what I mean? They look like as if they were just coming out of some sort of war themselves. So Morecambe didn't even play their strongest team and they weren't even fully fit. So I'm not taking nothing for granted against Fulham. As far as I'm concerned, SW6 is going to war next week. I don't care if it's Fulham. I don't give a crap.
And speaking of war, I heard you speaking about our main man Callum. If this man doesn't start next week against Fulham, I am going to Stamford Bridge with guns and pitchforks. You understand?
We don't threaten violence on this channel because you're gonna get us demonetized, please. YouTube, I do not stand by what he said. No, stop. I need to do my thing. YouTube, I do not stand by what this man says. Anybody who comes onto my platform, I do not take responsibility for what they say. Only what comes out of my mouth, okay? If he does something wild on his social media platforms and he starts doing a madness, I'm not involved. Don't even say it again, okay?
Let me rephrase. Let's rephrase. We're going to go on to the team with water balloons and water guns. You understand? That's what we're going to do to paint up Stamford Bridge, fam. Because honestly, like I keep saying, Hudson Odoi brings out the best in Havertz. Do you understand? He's brought up these comments.
It's not the first time I've had to say I apologize for somebody else's comments, huh?
Sly little dig
it's
there.
Even worse because he said it on my channel. The other time it didn't even happen on my channel, but still they try to crucify me. Blood clot. These brothers wanted the end of me. Where's my Jamaican? My Jamaican jersey? Blood clot, fam. These people wanted me finito. Brother, it didn't even happen here. It happened somewhere else, and you tried to cancel me for it. What kind of stupidness is that? Huh? The thing happened on some other platform. Go at Twitter.
Elsewhere.
At Twitter. At Jack. Don't at me. He cancelled Donald Trump this week. Go talk to Jack. You're out here trying to cancel me because of something that happened on someone else's platform. Are you stupid? Are you dumb? You haven't been booked up in there. You can't cancel me. You're dumb. Get out of here. Dickheads. Trying to put me through some sort of emotional strain all week for the nonsense, fam. Go and talk to Jack. Foolishness. Anyway, back on what you're saying.
This team, let's move along. But like I said, I don't provoke violence. Matisse doesn't promote violence. But honestly, Lampard, for Lampard's own good and safety, okay, I'm just joking. But honestly, Hudson Odoi should be playing next week. You understand? Once again, I know Matisse has probably said this on stream. I was editing and posting my video, so but I'm going to repeat it anyways. I'm sure Matisse has probably spoken about Havertz and the fact that he has so much more space to operate when Hudson Odoi was on that right-hand side. You could see my guy wasn't playing like a DM. I don't know how many of you guys actually saw that graph about Kai Havertz's ball progression from last season at Leipzig up until now. Did you see that change? My guy, Lampard is going to come out the press and I'm like, oh yeah, we're going to convert him into a DM. Man is moving like prime Jose Mourinho, bro. You understand? We don't need that in our squad. So when you see Havertz in the box, feasting, operating, getting all sorts of things get done together, it's happy to see in it. So for me, Havertz and Hudson Odoi should be together in the team in some way, shape, or form next week. I'm not trying to. I don't know how he's going to do it.
They complement each other so well because people. I've been talking about, and people kept telling me Hudson Odoi is overrated. He needs to go out on loan to Sheffield Wednesday. Brothers, I've been telling you this brother's talented. He's talented. He complements Havertz so much because Havertz, like I said, he gets into the box, right? How many crosses do we actually legitimately have in this team? We have Reece James and we have Hudson Odoi that are legitimately consistent crossers in this team. Let's be real. So they complement. Hudson Odoi not only is a talented individual himself, he brings out the best in others. He does. These brothers love playing with him. Hazard spoke lyrically about this brother. You see the pictures at Cobham. You know, a little arm around the shoulder. Hazard said, "Don't worry, Hudson Odoi, I'll get you into the team." When they were speaking in Sarri season, them Europa League games. Hudson Odoi stick it on Morata's head. This brother was still glum, but somehow a happy young thriving Hudson Odoi who ate his vegetables that day was able to get Morata smiling again. And you think you man think it's an accident? Do you think it? I'm not making shit up. This is the truth. It's the truth of the matter. Hudson Odoi is bringing out the best in others. How are you gonna have Morata, who's literally done at the club, and he's still sticking crosses on that brother's head? Hazard again. Hazard loved playing with him in the Europa League. Loftus-Cheek. It was a great little setup we had back then. Do you know what I mean? He's crossing the ball into the box and sticking it on the foreheads of these brothers. How can they not love him? How can they not? He's drawing other man out 1v1 to create space for others. How can they not love him? I want to get onto Gilmour as well.
I was going to ask as well, isn't it?
We got to talk about Gilmour.
Thoughts?
We got to talk about Gilmour. Now, another reason I believe potentially why Havertz was able to be so advanced is because Gilmour was playing. And I've said this before, and the man them in the fan base shut me up for a bit because Kante was in good form and the Chelsea Tricky Blues were winning. But I am back talking again. I am back again just to put a little suggestion out there. And I want you to think about it. I'm just going to say one thing. And if you don't agree, you dislike, it's fine. But I'm just going to suggest that potentially, because Kante is not the best at passing through the lines and progressing the ball, into the attackers quickly, that Havertz feels the need that he needs to drop deep to get the ball. Yes. Okay, and when Gilmour is playing there, let's not lie, he's a better passer than Kante. He can get the ball up there a little bit quicker. He can play those dangerous passes, right? So that allows Havertz to stay further forward. And I'm not surprised or even angry about it because I said Kante loan DM. He does, the off-the-ball stuff very well. And his job is to get the ball and play it simple. You don't ask Kante to play balls in between the line and all that stuff. That's something Mason Mount's going to have to develop in his game to really fizz that ball through the line and make those mad passes. Because Kante can only, we can't ask Kante to do everything. Kante does very well for us defensively. Yeah. Apart from in the last few weeks, he's been a bit ropey against top teams when we're being a bit pressed up the pitch, but we'll get onto that in a minute. Don't want to cause a fire. But... I
need to call 999. You get me?
When Gilmour plays, it allows him to get further forward because he knows he's going to receive the ball in dangerous areas. And for me, Gilmour, again, I'm not saying to drop Kante outright because, like I said, I don't think it's good for Gilmour to play every single game. I think people need to relax on that too. I think both, if anything, both need to be rotated. How many times do we see Kante run into the ground and then potentially you get these poor performances where it's a lapse of concentration for the goal against El Ghazi against Aston Villa where he's not tracking the man even though he's the closest to him, or you see Man City, he's getting pulled here, which way, everywhere. Maybe potentially mental, physical fatigue as well. Do you know what I mean? We do play him an awful lot. We don't rest him. Him and Mount don't get rest. So this is where Gilmour comes in.
Oh God, bro! Sorry, even Mason Mount couldn't catch a break on his birthday, fam. Listen, my guy is playing on his birthday, Can you imagine? His birthday present from Frank Lampard was the fact he got 17 minutes of rest. It doesn't make any sense. And the thing is, I kind of hear what you're saying with regards to Gilmour, but hear me out, And you man in the chat pattern this as well. If you man agree or disagree, let me know what you're thinking because this is how I saw the game as well. This game definitely he helped Havertz quite a bit more, but this really it's kind of like almost a Jorginho type fashion. I think Jorginho could have gone into that pitch. Now people are going to be like, "Oh my God, you're mentioning Jorginho, Matisse. Why are you having this black clown on your channel? He don't know football. He doesn't understand what he's saying." But the truth is, I feel like today in situations like this, when you're not going to get under any form of pressure, you're not going to really have to see any sort of flaws in the DM's game. I don't think Kante playing today would have made us better progressing the ball. Definitely not. but I don't think it would have been as bad as usually is, because in the next set of games we're going to go up against, like your Leicesters and your Wolves and your Manchester Cities, the way we set up in midfield will always cause problems for that lone line DM. I don't think there's any DM in world football about Joshua Kimmich right now who could play in that position and make you look better under Frank Lampard, because what Lampard does, the amount of space in between the DM and those two attacking eights is ridiculous. It's simply ridiculous. Definitely, like you said, when you're progressing and you're trying to get the ball in attacking transition, then definitely that's why you need a player like Billy Gilmore. But can you imagine Gilmore when we against like Manchester City? He would have gotten ripped to shreds. You understand?
Kante is better than Gilmore defensively, and Gilmore 100%. For me is better than Kante on the ball. That should be quite obvious. The only thing now that is about picking and selecting when you use each one. Kante still plays most of the games. That's just going to happen naturally. But when you have the opportunity to utilize Gilmore against a low block, potentially where you're not going to be under so much pressure, then use him and give Kante that rest, because Kante is going to be needed in these bigger, more difficult games where potentially we're not gonna have the ball so often. But at the same time, we can't just use Kante for every single game, and this has been an issue for us, is that we keep overusing him, and then when he starts to get mad tired, then suddenly it's a madness. Now, personally, I don't like any of these loan DM options in the long term. I've said this so many times. I've said this many times on Twitter and been killed for it, or they tried to crucify me, or tried to put me on Christ's cross. But
Christ's cross.
I don't like.
Did you see that Ziyech tweet? Said Ziyech might be a Muslim, but he sure loves his crosses. Twitter is such a state, fam. Oh my God. I was like, what is this all about?
You're not that funny on Twitter.com. This is why I love the platform. Do you know what I mean? No matter how mad it gets. You can only get that kind of banner on Twitter. But even Declan Rice is not a lone DM. This is what people need to remember. He plays in a pivot. Yeah. So it's very interesting, because we know Lampard potentially is going to be more familiar with coaching a 4-3-3. But if he does stay and he brings in Declan Rice, a Declan Rice with Kante pivot, or a Declan Rice and Gilmore pivot, or something like that might make more sense than lone DM. I don't know. I'm just waffling. I'm just talking. I'm just giving solutions to problems that aren't there yet. However, Declan Rice is not a natural lone DM at the moment. Maybe he has the characteristics to play it, but I sometimes look at Declan Rice and see a Matic in him. You know, Nemanja Matic when he was at we partnered him with Kante in that Conte system. That's how I look at Declan Rice. I don't really see Declan Rice as like Makelele as a lone DM or Mikel. I see him more as like a Matic. So it will be interesting to see how we go about our business when he is signed, or if he is signed, or if Lampard is even still here. But it's exciting. Like I said, I'm not really, I've always preferred 4-3-3 from my own perspective, but I can adapt. I just want to win, to be honest. I don't really care. Do you know what I mean? As long as we play well and we play attacking football, I don't really care how you want to play. You can play 1-9-1 or whatever the hell. I don't care. But at the end of the day, it needs to be about what suits the team. And like I said, I wouldn't just hang out Gilmore to try and loan DM every single game. That's not going to work. It needs to be tailored for certain opposition where we feel like, okay, cool, he's not going to get like Fodens and whatnot around him, because we haven't seen. Do you know what I mean? It's been a long time. Even that Liverpool team where he got man of the match, that was a weakened Liverpool team. So I don't remember exactly who's in that team. Everton, that man of the match last season was quality as well. And I think a lot of people are saying, he'd get hang out to dry, or he'd get dragged, or he'd get bullied. I don't feel like Gilmore's a guy who gets bullied in that sense. I wouldn't use the word bullied, because he's a very tenacious. He goes up for his duels. He gets stuck in. He gets on the ground. Do you know what I mean? He makes his ground duels. He makes his fouls.
Not bullied. You get outrun. You understand? The same way Kante gets outrun. That's exactly what's going to happen with how we set up. That is the core issue, is the setup. I know the players don't really fit the DM thing spectacularly well, but it's the setup in it. What are you pointing at?
Correct. And that's why Mason Mount needs to drop deeper. All right.
And Havertz needs to move forward. You understand? What are we around? It's not like this. Yeah? You see Lampard, you see like Mason, make sure Havertz, you're a prime operator in the final third. Move back. My son must move up front. You understand? He must pop off the shot and he must get all the goals and everything. That's what.
See, if you
I lying? Am I lying? Did I lie?
If you want to add the vulgar language, you can go to his channel. We don't do that here. PG. You know what I mean? Link will be in the description for vulgar language. Vulgar language at the Grand Dam.
What vulgar language that you use, bro?
Huh?
I just called him his son. That's all I said.
People, get your questions in. Do you know what I mean? Get your questions in, because last 15 minutes or so, we're going to go through the questions or go through anything. Just type in whatever you want to get across, put out there, get some stuff off your chest. I'll put it up. Do you know what I mean? No big deal.
I like this from Kuna Helms. Have you seen that from Kuna Helms? Kuna Helms. If Chilhouse can start against Fulham, who gets dropped? Pulisic or Ziyech?
Right now, it's got to be Pulisic, right? Yeah, right now, because at the moment, as you saw from Ziyech today, he does hit a lot of balls, right? But it's very important that we have that outlet. And also Reece James, you know, Reece James will get the best out of Reece James with the way that Ziyech wants to tuck in into that channel. Yeah. And this is coming from someone who initially doubted Ziyech, and still I do have a couple worries that he still is very like a one-trick pony in terms of like it's a volume thing where it is. And I said this before he signed. It is very much just same thing over and over. It's a good trick, but it's the one trick the brother just continues.
It's a one-trick pony. It's
you know what I mean? It's just a trick, one trick every time, and it is a bit one-dimensional, but it works. And because it's a dimension that we don't have anywhere else in the team, it makes us a multi-dimensional team. So it makes us a team full of variety. But he's bringing that one thing that no one else will do. But do you know what I mean? He does that a lot. Let's be real. That is what he does. Do you know what I mean? Out of his feet and whip it in the box. Let's be real. Let's not lie. When I said he was a bit one-dimensional, I don't think a lot of people will question that now after watching him play. He does do the same thing often. It's just a very good party trick. And when it comes off, it's unstoppable. The ball, when it comes off once out of 5 times, it's unstoppable. It's a killer ball. But like I said, when I said that when he came in, I said that he would be frustrated because he would play a lot of these balls and they wouldn't always come off. They don't always come off. However, once or twice a game, if they come off, it's a goal. Or it should be a goal. So, do you know what I mean? I wasn't too spot off, I don't think, in my analysis when I spoke about him before he joined. He's going to be one of those players that continues to funnel the same thing. But because no one else does it...
Have you seen that question?
That's a good point. He was looking mad in the centre. That's a good point. So, yeah, I just think for balance-wise, I'd play Ziyech on the right wing. Reece James overlaps on the right. And I think that just allows Reece James gets the space then for his crossing. And Ziyech tucks into that right channel when he.
But what about Havertz? Isn't it? Havertz is still the underlying issue at the end of the day because
Havertz still plays where he was playing, brother.
But I think it's like today you can see Havertz was a lot more better, especially when he swapped with when this man swapped in it. So I like to see Havertz closer to Odoi, maybe not all throughout the entire game, because Reece James coming in as well. Reece James is not your byline wing fullback. You understand? That's not what he does. He
can do both. He can do both.
Yeah, he can be, but like more. That's what I'm saying. It's equal. So Ziyech is in your byline winger, and Reece James is in your byline fullback. Traditionally, like I said, he can do it. He has the pace and the technique to be able to get that done. But that space where Havertz likes to roam in and about is going to be occupied. So I'm really hoping that Lampard, because can you imagine Havertz, Callum Hudson-Odoi, and Reece James linking up on the right hand side? That is
no, 100%.
You understand? That is criminal. That is straight criminal. But
100%. I mean, I spoke about earlier where Hudson Odoi and Havertz look a lot better when they're closer together. They link up very well. When you move to right wing, you know, Havertz starts to play even better for me. But I feel like just for the overall team, I feel like Hudson Odoi can still play better on the left with Chilwell overlapping. Because one thing I realized today about Emerson, he wanted to be the main character in the first half. He thought he was the Troy Bolton and Gabriella of High School Musical. He wanted to play basketball. Brother, he wanted to play basketball and sing at the same time. He was doing it all. Do you know what I mean? And credit to him, he wanted to be a Marcus Alonso prime. That's fine. But in the long term, I still want the left back to overlap and give Hudson Odoi that ability to cut in on 1v1 and not take up. Because when Emerson was playing in that left like inverted left back position, he was taking Hudson Odoi's room. Do you know what I mean? And that potentially is where you saw the goal against West Brom where Havertz and Hudson Odoi linked up for the goal. I don't know if it was the second goal on the comeback. They can link up, but for me, Emerson was like the third wheel getting in the way. Do you know what I mean? They was trying to connect and strike relationship, and this brother was just like cock block every time. Just all the time, just straight, and he just shooting for shoot. I'm just like, what's got into you? I don't know if he was trying to prove a point or what.
He should stick to selling ice cream, fam. You understand? He should stick to selling ice cream on an ice cream truck, fam, with his Cornetto haircut. I don't know what he was trying to do on the pitch today. I was quite disappointed. No, MAH does not condone what I am saying, but I am saying it. I said it.
Why are you calling me? There's no need for that.
But like I said, at the end of the day, like you said rightfully, trying to pull out his inner Marcus Alonso. Speaking of Marcus Alonso, my guy hasn't been in that team for God knows how long, and I'm happy. And I'm very, very happy. Good. I condone, you understand, all the Marcus Alonso stuff I'm seeing, you understand, from Matisse as well. I see all of that. But I see a question from Faiz Fardin. Did you see that for the above?
Let me scroll.
MAH and Dami, do you see Chelsea winning the next 4 games? Hell no.
I don't ask me such silly things.
I don't see that happening, but
of course not. No, I'll be stupid to say yes. Of course not.
I don't think so.
But just to stick onto this game, not to depress myself, but yeah, I think that connection can still be established, and I think Ziyech and Havertz's connection on that right hand side can still. Yeah. I can see how, like, I'm not giving up on it. Like, I know people are saying they're in the same zones and they're getting in each other's way. Like I said, when Havertz is in the box, Ziyech can take up the right channel. And, you know, we can, but for me, that can still be something that is worked on in training, where to be when the other's there, so you're not getting in each other's way. I don't think I haven't lost all hope. I think that it can happen. I understand both of their heat maps last season at Ajax and Leverkusen, they operate in very similar areas, and it's a sticky one. But I would still do it against Fulham. And if it doesn't work, cool, just switch wings. Ziyech is not a left winger. He's been over there at Ajax at times. You know, he's a floater. Yeah. He can go over there. He can still cross. It's not going to be the end of the world. Or you can bring Pulisic on. But I think get Chilwell back on. I don't know if he's fit or what's going on. Get him back on so he can overlap and get Hudson Odoi moving closer into the middle. Then he's closer to Havertz. You can see the same link-up play. And like I said, I think Pulisic, I'd have him come off the bench. He hasn't, I don't think he's been horrendous, but he definitely hasn't been great, and he hasn't been anywhere near Hudson Odoi's level recently. So Hudson Odoi and Ziyech from the beginning for me, Havertz as well, and then it's just who you play up front. Really.
I've seen an interesting thing on Ziyech, and before Matisse bans me for vulgar language, let me just keep it very real and honest with you, man. Honest to God, I've seen what you said about Kepa, bro. I don't want to see Kepa against Fulham. Let me just keep it very real. I'm not going to violate him. I'm not going to mock him, because today he was kind of, you know what? You know that one where they crossed it in and I thought we had conceded? That could have been the end of Lampard. I think Roma would have...
Who are you talking about specifically?
Kepa Arrizabalaga.
The fact that he kept a clean sheet, I'm happy with that. I ain't even going to say nothing today for him.
In there, but someone is suggesting he should play against Fulham, innit?
No.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm trying to say, we don't think we should see that. But I've seen something from Kevin, and you're spot on, Kevin. When it comes to actual Ziyech, that's the issue right now. A lot of fans at Chelsea feel like all he does is cross into the box, but Lampard are sort of limited just because of the kind of football we are playing at the moment. Ziyech has a wicked cross in him. You understand? He has a very wicked cross in him, and he's a very dynamic and excellent player, especially at Ajax. He wasn't just on the wing spamming crosses. See his pass for Callum Hudson-Odoi today. I know it's against Morecambe, but Ziyech has that in his locker. That was Fabregas-esque. That pass he gave to Callum today was Fabregas-esque, and that was a bad boy pass and a bad boy finish from Callum. Ziyech can bring that to you as long as he occupies all those central areas and gets in and around, and he's allowed to be dynamic and fluid. So I think Lampard can do a bit more with that. But man, I just feel like, no, as far as Kepa is concerned, I do not want to see him against Fulham. As much as people feel like he has a Kepa remontada, I don't endorse, I don't condone, I do not want to see, you understand? I'm not in supporting that in any way, shape, or form. But bro, I just feel like we can do quite a bit more. And these next few games, I'm still hella scared. You understand? We've got Fulham, Leicester, Wolves, and then Burnley. These man could all switch up against us. And these next 4 games are extremely critical, but it is what it is. We keep it moving swiftly.
Standards remain high for me.
Yeah.
Them brothers should be aiming for 10 points. 10 points.
In it. 10 points minimum. 10 points minimum, yeah.
3 wins on a draw. I'm not ramping. My standards don't drop.
Exactly.
Leicester are having a decent season. Wolves are having a decent season. Pick which one you want to drop points against. The rest of them win. I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Exactly.
So I'm not saying I think that's what's going to happen, but if we want to get to the level where we should be at and where we should be in the league, 10 points in the next 4 games minimum. I don't want to hear no different.
Next 4 games. Yeah, I'd back that.
Ken Berry says, what's good to notice is the chemistry being formed between the new signings and the academy lads. Year from now will be fire no matter the manager. Good point. There's been some nice chemistries that's been struck up. I think, like I said, Havertz and Hudson Odoi. I think Reece James and Ziyech. So there's been some good combos. More to come. Do you know what I mean? We need to keep working on that. That's something that we need to see more of. But I'm happy with that.
Finding team was too in effect, though, unfortunately. Finding team was too very much in effect, unfortunately. But we
100%. It is like this was for me. Today wasn't like it's not going to be. I don't think it's a catalyst for like some mad run of form. I hope it is, but I don't think so. But it was just good to see him get a goal. Do you know what I mean? Like that was one of the things before the game on my checklist. I wanted him to start today because it was dead easy opposition. I was like, if you're going to get a goal, it has to be today. And that was ticked off the list. Do you know what I mean? So that's really all I could hope for. And a few other things that was not happening, like Havertz not being in the box, Hudson Odoi not playing. These are the things that I needed to see, and I got to see. So
exactly
from not from a performance standpoint, but from an overall performance standpoint, I wouldn't say so. But from an objective standpoint, a lot of things today got ticked off the list that needed to get ticked off. Do you know what I mean? If you're going through a checklist. What other comments we got here? Reece James will allow Ziyech to come in more because he has the pace going down by the 100%. Yeah, 100%. Reece James is just more dynamic than Aspie. Aspie put in a good cross for Havertz, but Reece James is still superior in terms of his crossing and just being the more dynamic fullback. Do you know what I mean? He's got more to his game. So yeah, that's not something that surprises anyone. Wolves is the more winnable game, someone is saying.
I mean, definitely, because when we did play against Wolves, there was something to it, but they counter-attacked us beautifully. Do you understand? Nuno done the madness against us. So I'm not going to say anybody's ease right now, because once again, I told people I'm not getting carried away with this performance. This performance here was down to the fact that there were so many red flags. I'm not going to take anything away from the victory before people think I'm negative, but this performance wasn't like flawless. It definitely wasn't even flawless against the League 2 side. So I'm not going to just say, okay, Wolves is going to be an easy dub. It's not going to be an easy dub. Even Fulham, I'm not just going to come out there and say it's an easy dub. These men have been drawing every single game they've been involved in. Their last 4 games have been draws. Last 4 games have been draws. So I'm not going to come out and act like things are all red and rosy. So let's just keep our mouth shut and like not get too gassed because we beat Morecambe FC.
It's a very small brick in the foundation of the house. A very small brick. A very small brick. The reason why the reason why it's even a brick is because of the things that we've mentioned that we've seen, the moments in a game, combinations that we've been crying out for that we've now seen, where it gets the best out of our players. That's why it's a small brick. If we had won 4-0, but we were still not seeing any sort of combinations from certain players, and certain players that we needed to perform didn't perform, I wouldn't even give it the brick. To be honest, I wouldn't. You know what I mean? So
I hear you, fam. But once again, like it's once again for people I see some rival fans in the comments. We're not like we're gassed. You understand? It's not like we're gassed about this performance. We're going to take the win because once again, like Matisse said, our mom just cooked us food for the first time in a few weeks. Of course, you're going to eat it like.
And also because we need to win this trophy.
We need to thank you very, very. I forgot about that. That trophy is still on my thing. That is still part of my requirements this year. I don't care how we're going to do it. Top 3, okay, and the trophy is required this year. Maybe not even top 3, but we need to be. Our points need to improve.
Top 4 needs to be top 4 now. After the way I've seen the season panning out and the amount of the close in points, I don't top 3, top 4 don't make the difference. It's still Champions League football, but they need to finish top 4. They just need to get Champions League football.
And not just top 4. We need to be closer in points to these lot. You understand?
Yeah. I think we will be though. I think we will because just everybody else is everyone's dropping points now. So I think the points will just be closer. I think this will probably be one of the lowest points recorded for a Premier League winning team. But
can I ask this person in the sorry, I have something to.
We need to win this trophy, people. Like, don't forget, we win trophies at this club. Well, no matter what stage we're in. So this trophy is not a write-off. For me, you should be throwing everything into it. Give us the easiest run. I want Shrewsbury next, Accrington, Stanley the week after. I don't care. I don't care if we have to shithouse our way to the final. I want to win the trophy. I don't care how we do it. We have to win this trophy.
Man, them calling you fake Nigerian in your comments, bro. Who's Robert Smith? Fake Nigerian. What does that mean, fam? I've got a passport and everything.
Brother, stop. Don't pay attention to the negativity, only the positivity, bro.
Don't worry about him. Well, France should be blues. Back in business. You understand? We're going to go on a 20-match unbeaten run now. You understand? That's how gassed I am after. Oh, my God.
Bambo says thoughts on Giroud and Werner partnership. I mean, we've seen it a few times already because Werner's been playing left wing. And he still has the license to get into the box. I haven't seen too much. To be honest, I'm not interested. I think the only time it's worked is when Tammy's played with Werner, and we've on average statistically just got more goals. But nah. Just play your wingers out wide and put your striker up front. Simple.
Yeah.
Hudson Odoi, Ziyech, they're fit now. The thing is, we had our chance to play our 2 striker partnerships. We didn't take it. The brothers were injured on their medical team bed and they were resting up, and we had no wingers and we had opportunity to play strikers and we didn't do it. So I don't want to hear it now. Now just play the wingers out wide. Hudson Odoi is on form. He has to play. Ziyech offers something different to the team. He has to play. Which means there's no room for 2 strikers. Havertz has to play. He gets into the box. Havertz acts as your second striker to get into the box and make their. And to be honest, like I said, like I keep telling people, this is not a team that has crossed heavily. And this is the final point I'll make before we wrap up. This a team that has crossed heavily all season and has the most crosses in the league this season is not suddenly going to just stop crossing. You saw it today. You saw it against Man City with no aerial ability in this team. You saw it against Arsenal with Kante in the box. They are drilled into cross. They're going to cross. It's like Sarri when he was here. They're going to play Sarri ball. So I'm not trying to change that. I'm not trying to. Do you know what I mean? I want it to change, but I'm not naive or hopeless to be thinking, we're gonna suddenly start playing more through balls than Bruno Fernandes as an individual. Because it hasn't happened. It hasn't happened. So why suddenly is it gonna happen? I know everybody wants to play through the middle. Yeah, it's not happened. And
it's not going to happen. Like you keep saying, it's not. But like Matisse and I keep echoing, and Matisse, I know you can condone this comment from me as well. We keep echoing this year. They can play cross and inshallah football all they like. All I need to see is if we're going to do something, let's do it to the best of its ability. Let's utilize it correctly and properly. When you want to cross into the box, you do it correctly. You make sure you have strategy behind it. I'm not expecting Lampard to come in and say we're going to play tiki-taka prime pep football from 2008. I'm not expecting him to tell Mason Mount to make a lot more vertical passes here and there. I'm not expecting him to change too many things up because right now we're in crunch time. And this is a very critical period in Chelsea's season and Frank Lampard's career. Because if you mess up about properly and they don't come standardized, he's done now. And Chelsea will be in such a disarray. And I have absolutely no interest in covering that sort of content. You understand? No interest whatsoever. So right now, Fulham is next. We need to make sure we play our football to the best of its ability. We need to cross with intent. We need to drill that into the players. I'm not expecting Lampard to change to a 4-2-3-1 and start doing low blocks and stuff like that. It's not going to run. It's simply not going to run. So you, man, don't get your hopes up too high in terms of changing style. But overall,
just to finish on this comment, new recruit 100 says Pulisic has to start. Okay, so let me ask you directly then, just to reply to that. Who is dropped out of Hudson Odoi and Ziyech then for you? Because for me, Pulisic doesn't have to start. He doesn't have to start. This is not North Korea. Do you know what I mean? This is not a dictatorship. He doesn't have to start. He doesn't have to start. He starts if he's playing well and he's playing brilliantly, or he's playing better than the other options. He doesn't have to start. Like I said, Hudson Odoi deserves to start. I don't care about who's the talisman or who sells all the shirts and who's the main man, who's number 10. Hudson Odoi deserves, not has to, this is the key word, not has to, deserves to start. He deserves to start because he's playing.
If he chops bench next game, I will be off. Listen,
if he hits bench next game and we don't win, cool. That's all I'm saying to you. Cool.
Cool. I like that.
Watch what happens. Cool. Because now you're shooting yourself in the foot because Hudson Odoi is on form. Hudson Odoi is showing he's not one-dimensional, by the way. He's showing many facets to his game, whether you stick in right wing, left wing, whatever you want to do. So he's showing, and he has been showing for at least a month now, that he deserves to play. His end product goes up, his defensive contribution goes up. And the variety in what he does, whether it's switching play, crossing, whatever, has been shown. His game development is there for everyone to see. I love Pulisic, but he shouldn't just be. Nobody just in my head just starts just because. Nobody. Not at this age. Do you know what I mean? We're not talking about Messi's and Neymar's and whatnot. We're talking about young guys who. Every now and then, and like I keep saying, people have it twisted where I don't know if it's because they rep the player and they can't distinguish between, what's best for the team or what's best for this. So I'm going to get back to his comment in a minute because he's replied. Sometimes taking a brother out of the team makes their level raise. And then when you bring them back into the team, you're sorted. Now, your response was, yeah, exactly, play Hudson Odoi and Pulisic. I mean, you can do that. I mean, then that means, I'm guessing you're going Pulisic left wing and you're going Hudson Odoi right wing.
I wouldn't mind seeing that, to be fair.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that. But
yeah, I don't mind seeing
that. My main point here is Hudson Odoi has to play. He has to play.
Now, no. He has to start. There's a difference. He has to start.
Yeah, he has to start. But also, we are coming up against a low block, probably. So that's something to bear in mind. That's really a Pulisic versus Ziyech situation. How do you feel they're going to come up against the low block? Both of them are more than capable of going about and breaking a low block. They just do it in different ways. Again, if you're playing it really just depends on how you want to play. Because like I said, Ziyech is going to be very direct with his crossing. And Pulisic is going to be very direct with his dribbling. I don't care. They're all quality players.
Yeah.
But Hudson Odoi has to start. That's all I'm saying. Like, the other two are not in, like... The reason why I don't care is because there's different arguments for both. There's arguments for Pulisic. There's arguments for Ziyech. Ziyech can break low blocks with his pass. And that, by the way, is something that we lack in this team. So we have a dribbler already on the pitch in Hudson Odoi. We don't have someone who can pass and directly bypass a defensive line or a deep block and find those little faint runs like Ziyech. That is something to add. However, Ziyech and Pulisic are not on mad runner form. Do you know what I mean? They're not on crazy form. So I don't really care who you choose. Like I said, it's just quality player versus quality player. I don't do these things. I don't do these things in the fan base. If there's two quality players, then I like them both. That's just how I operate. But Hudson Odoi has to start. That's it. As long as he starts, then cool. As long as everybody agrees with that, we cool. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of people will say, nah, we have to keep him on the bench, keep him humble. He has to start. Has to start.
Can we pattern this super chat from Rodrigo Cal?
Has to start.
Let's pattern this. How do you expect Pulisic to come good if he doesn't play? Matisse, have you seen that super chat? The green.
I've read it now, yeah. I mean, you can say that for anyone. How do we expect Marcus Alonso not to come good if he doesn't play?
Innit?
Brother, not every time someone's not in form, you have to just keep playing them. That's not how you always get the best out of someone. I said it when we were playing Werner for 2 months solid and the brother didn't improve. Just take him out the team and then figure out how you're going to utilize him correctly and then bring him back in the team. It's not every day just play, and then suddenly what? Do you know what I mean? It's not necessary. Yeah. Not only is this a brother that we have to manage anyway for fitness, so that's something else you need to take into account. This brother couldn't play anyway, even if we wanted to, because we have to manage him. But that's not what healthy competition, and that's not what having a deep squad, and that's not what having depth is all about. It's not you don't get depth in attacking areas, and you don't get multiple threats, and you don't try and say I'm going to build a balanced team to then say this brother's never getting dropped, regardless. That's not how it works. You're keeping people on their toes, keeping them fit and fiery, keeping them interested and occupied. Make sure that they know their place is up for grabs. That's how you, brother. If you're at work, and I have to always do this, if you're at work and your place is not up for grabs and there's no standards at the office and everything is just too easy and you're starting regardless, you're going to start slacking off, or potentially your form's just going to drop just naturally because it's too easy. If you see a brother's up your ass and he's giving you competition like Hudson Odoi is, and like he is and has been doing, then you come out the team for a game and you're going to sit to and then when he comes off the bench against Fulham, if he comes off the bench, he's going to be like, damn, shit. Do you know what I mean? That brother on Twitter who always does them paragraphs with Pulisic, with the holy smokes and the Yaudi and all that stuff with the pictures speaking to Sky Sports. He's going to have to do another one of those. I don't know what his name is. I can't remember. But he's going to have a fire in his belly. Don't underestimate the importance of mentality, like firing up an individual. Do you know what I mean? Top managers do it all the time. They say stick a rocket up individuals' arse when need be. So don't underestimate that. Do you know what I mean? Don't underestimate that. There's certain things that we need to be better at, and that's playing players on merit. When they play well, they deserve to play. And like I said, no one has to start. It's all dependent on what's going on at the current time, not what's going on in your preconceived mind at the start of the season when you said to yourself, this was our strongest 11 and that's the team we're going to play every single week. It's about what is going on now. And what's going on now is Hudson Odoi is playing out of this world. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that because he played well against Morecambe. I'm saying that because he's played well against Man City when he came on against Arsenal, when he came on against, when he played against Rennes and then got dropped out of the squad. He's scoring goals. There's end products. And by the way, when you have someone in this vein of form and you don't allow them to, you don't squeeze the sponge, as they say, and allow that form to really ring out, well, then you just wasted it. Do you know what I mean? You got a good thing going, use it. So, like I said, I don't mind particularly who. When we get closer to the Fulham game, I have people on coming up this week, rival fans, and also the weekly shows that we're doing. All You Can Eat Chelsea will be back. London's Club Carnage will be back with Lee Gunner and Tottenham Tobes. We'll be talking about all these things. So as we get closer to the Fulham game, we'll be talking about who should start. But Hudson Odoi will be in my team. He will be in my team.
100%. I mean, Matisse, you've already spoken on the facts that need to be spoken with regards to this game. Like, I mean, in terms of like who should be playing, because once again, I don't want to repeat what you said, but basically the strongest thing for me is we don't spend this much money and get just certain individuals playing consistently. This team has a crap ton of ballers, okay, world-class ballers, and if one of them is piping up, we have someone that can simply replace you. Do you understand? Look at Pulisic last season when he wasn't bowling properly. This guy came off and Lampard brought him off and said, you know what, you've got to sit down for a few games, innit? Then he brought him back in and he started performing up to standard. That's what's going to happen this year as well. Callum Hudson-Odoi has done everything required for him to start that next game. Best believe, like you said, and I will say it again, if this man doesn't start in that next game, I don't care who is playing between Ziyech and Pulisic, because you can make arguments for both of them, you understand? You can say Pulisic can stretch out the game a bit more. You can say Ziyech is going to unlock certain passes, assuming that those passes are going to pop off, you understand? Because Ziyech is a mixed bag. You don't know when he's going to actually come in with something that can crack open the defense. But at the end of the day, you can make arguments for those two. But Callum Hudson-Odoi, he has to start. Short and simple, bro.
I think I've been saying it over recent weeks. I think Pulisic will improve as the weeks go on. I think, like I said, he came back from an injury and it's taken him time to get going. You know, his end product has been quite wasteful recently, but I've seen his dribbling has been good. And I think, you know, as a matter of time, this is a quality individual we're talking about. And the only real issue that I have with him going forward is his injury record. If he sorts that out, then he's going to be a top player for us, hopefully for the next decade. But yeah, I think, you know, like I said, you have to play it by what's going on at the current moment. So that's very important. And the final thing I'm going to respond to before we wrap up is YB1. Sorry, people, I got my laptop here, so I'm just deciding what screen to choose. The same people saying Lampard doesn't play players on form are the same ones saying Pulisic has to start. What the fuck's that all about? It's true. You know, we need to be consistent. Do you know what I mean? We need to be consistent. You can't ask for something, and then when it affects maybe your favorite player or the man that you rep on Twitter, suddenly, oh, hold on a second, calm it down. I didn't say drop him. You do the merit stuff with other ones, but not my Avi. Not my Avi. Do you know what I mean? We can't do that. We can't do that. We can't do that. Do you know what I mean? Everybody knows how highly I rate Pulisic. I think I was one of the only decent-sized accounts to really, when Pulisic was going through his hard time last season, to really stick by him. And when he wasn't playing, and Pulisic, and it was like Werner and Pedro over him, I was livid. I was doing Pully propaganda, if you might remember the hashtag. But I still always want to remain objective, and I don't want to do this bias thing where it's like my favorite players have to play every game. No, Pulisic is not playing as well as Hudson Odoi, so Hudson Odoi is above Pulisic right now in terms of who needs to start. And then
he needs to chop the bench, short and simple.
Yeah, and then look, like I said, this will be a cycle. I'm sure in a couple of weeks or maybe in a couple of months, Hudson Odoi might drop off because he's young and that's what happens. And then I'll say Pulisic needs to start. That's just how it goes. That is how it goes.
That's what happens at a world-class football club, man.
Exactly. People, it's been brilliant. Do you know what I'm saying? Dami, let them know where to find you. Do you know what I'm saying? Make them know. The review is out. Where can these people get you?
The Grand Dam Boss. That's where you can get your boy Dami. Obviously, once again, I'm PG. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to try and keep you PG, you know, so that Matisse doesn't get too angry. So, yeah, you just hop over to my channel for all the extra yabs and insults and everything. But calm and composed and everything. But overall, that's where you can find me. Nothing too much.
100%. And this is a good final point to make, and I agree. People are getting at Pulisic, but everyone's been playing crap. That's true. I think the only reason why we're talking about Pulisic so much today is because, like I said, there's actually competition in his place. There's actually other players that are playing well that haven't been playing like Hudson Odoi. In the other areas that people are playing crap, I think their deputies are not as good in terms of the players that are coming in. So I don't know. We'll have to see whether my trust issues improve with certain man in the deep depths of the squad, but I doubt it. Do you know what I mean? I doubt it. People, it's been a blast. Thank you so much for joining us post Morecambe. We'll be back tomorrow with another stream. God days, what is it? Monday. Do you know what I'm saying? So we'll see what's going on Monday. We've got a few people. Hold on, what we got? Maybe I can tell you actually what we got upcoming, because I do often leave it to surprise. But if you want a little heads up about what is going on with the schedule this week, I can give you something. Before you go. Let me see. Obviously, the all you can eat Chelsea show is on at 11 a.m. on Thursday with Eunice and with Miz. So that doesn't change. London's Club Carnage with Lee Gunner and Tottenham Tobes, as I said, is also on Wednesday at 1 p.m. I believe. So that doesn't change. And then we have an Arsenal fan, I believe, coming on Tuesday. Let me just refresh myself.
Money moves on the MH channel, yeah? Is that what we're on? Bossing out content every single day. You man, if you're unsubscribed to this channel already, I beg. It's good content, innit? I don't need to tell you that, but like, just in case you forgot, fam.
I think the content's all right. I don't know what the man didn't think in the chat, but Curtis Shaw will be joining us on Tuesday. So yes, Curtis Shaw. I'm looking forward to speaking to him because I haven't spoken to him on YouTube before. But yeah, Curtis Shaw will be joining us on Tuesday at 5 o'clock, I believe. And I was trying to sort out something for Monday. I don't know if it's going to be possible because one of my guests are having a rough time at the moment. There's a few of the people that are booked in that are going through a rough time. So like I said, look after each other. Reach out to your loved ones because obviously we're still in COVID times and it's definitely affecting people. And I can see it affecting people very close to me, you know. Cameraman Saj, you know, he's got it at the moment. Me and Dami been speaking to him a lot this week. So, you know, Saj, Man City fan, films my videos, records, you know, the voice in the background, you know, when we was in the studio and we was, you know, the apple juice and everything. He's got COVID at the moment. So wish him well, wish him the best, people. You know, a few other people that I've tried to book in for a show on Monday, their family, you know, get struck by it and whatnot. So they can't do it. So there's a lot going on for a lot of people. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just blessed personally that I haven't caught it yet. And you as well, Dami. I don't know what you're on.
I mean, brother, I'm self-isolating right now. I did test negative, thankfully. So like, it's one of those things. But once again, even while I was streaming, like a lot of people are catching this thing. You might need to stay safe, yo. Honest to God, it's not a joke. I mean, I thought it was a joke before. Like when for people that have been following me for quite a bit of time, I lost quite a lot of weight. You understand? Not because of Rona, but I couldn't get back into the team. I couldn't get back into the gym because of when I caught it back in July. So it's not a joke thing. This new strain is very, very real. Do you understand? People that we know 100%. That wouldn't have expected that. Cameraman Saj wasn't doing anything stupid. You understand? Not that I'm aware.
He's in his yard.
He was in the gaff, innit? All he went to do was get Sainsbury's a few times and then boom, he caught it. And now he's not feeling to us. So you guys need to all stay safe, man. You need to stay safe. This thing is well and real. You understand? It is hella real.
I don't have. I mean, just before we wrap up, I don't have the knowledge of the cases in other countries and whatnot, but I know the UK is bad, especially in London. Yeah. So if you're in London, I know we've got a high volume of UK watchers, and obviously a lot of you will probably be from London then, because it's a very populated, densely populated area. If you man them live in London, if you ain't taking it serious by now, you've lost your mind. All right, it's mad out there. Okay, it's going around like nothing. So stay your ass indoors. You know what I'm saying? Wash your hands and whatnot. Don't do what Boris did and start shaking people's hands, shaking patients' hands. Don't be out here doing any of that because you saw what happened. He caught it. You know what I'm saying? So don't listen to him. Just make sure that because he's just waffling, but just stay inside. You knew what it was from the beginning, people. You're smart individuals. I trust you that you're smart individuals. You knew from the beginning that this was not a joke thing. So just stay your ass indoors. And hopefully, if we can do this lockdown correctly, then we can actually have this as the last one. Because that's what I'm trying to see. I'm not trying to go through lockdown every 3-4 months. Last lockdown, people. Let's get that hashtag going on socials. Last lockdown, and that means it has to be done correctly. So stay arse indoors, all right? People, it's been a blessing in a bit, all right? We got a show tomorrow, like I said. We got Curtis Shaw on Tuesday. 2 shows, weekly shows, and then another weekly one that still needs to get finalized. And then next thing you know is Fulham. So we don't sleep. Things move very, very quickly. Bless up and enjoy the rest of your night. Let's just embrace the Chelsea win and pretend like, no, we don't have no problems right now.
Shameless.
Perfect.